Joe Rylett. So, just a quick video. I wanted to introduce my little social world here to you. We met, if you remember, at Top Golf in Watford, about five-minute drive away from where I used to live for the majority of my life. When was it we met, Joe, in person for the first time? Do you remember?
Bristol.
So Top Golf, and then Bristol, and we
Top Golf. Yeah, Top Golf was first because we talked over the phone and WhatsApp, and then Top Golf, and then we met up again in Bristol when the tour went on. You and Adam's UK tour, and then London again at the end of that. So is that 3 times we met?
I think I'm honoured 3 times as a charm. And that was the official launch of EXP over there, which is still mind-blowing. So with that said, and by the way, I don't think there's a better place to reach and get to know somebody than in a pub. So that's exactly what we did in Bristol. So tell us a little about yourself, Joe. Just a 30-minute elevator lift speech about yourself.
I thought you said 30 minutes there. Do you want 30 minutes? You don't want 30 minutes of me, do you?
We can change that 30 seconds.
Yes. Thank God, because I've got tea in 20 minutes. Yeah, blimey, 14, very typical story, I think, and maybe a very typical story of lots of people that will hopefully now sort of join this model that I'm seeing, looking at it. Sort of 14, 15 years on the high street in those typical independent offices, slogging my guts out, working my backside off for some reward. You know, you don't get no reward, but not enough what you think you should. And just then started to think, am I happy doing what I'm doing? Looked at a few different things. Nearly got out of the game completely. You know, thought about teaching, thought of going back to doing something with kids because I used to work in adventure playgrounds and working with some disabled kids as well. I used to do that, but because those were really rewarding jobs. But I had a look at this self-employed sort of thing, chatted to a few people, and then I wasn't going to do EXP. It was, I don't know, I think I always joke with Adam. Adam talked a lot when he initially met people, and we all like to talk. Estate agents, we all like to talk. Yep. Sometimes we talk too much, but the biggest key is to learn how to listen. And once you get that, and just sit back and let other people talk. And I had a second meet with Adam, and he said nothing, and just let me talk passionately about myself and where I wanted to go. And that was at Top Golf. The EXP clinching meeting was at Top Golf as well. I literally signed that night, and it was on a Sunday, and we didn't play golf. I've been to Top Golf about 30 times now in the last sort of 4 or 5 months. I've not played golf once. People think I just go down and hit balls. I do go there for meetings and to do work. So, and then, yeah, blimey, 6 months ago, nearly 7, this EXP thing. And you guys always said, described it as a roller coaster, and you know what, it is that, but a good one to be on, a lot of fun. Yeah, you've had your troughs in terms of where you got sort of, you know, be tight on the money and stuff like that, and then a few things we've had here and there, sort of, you know, politics out of our hands with sort of branding and things like that. But they've all sort of got sorted, and I'm enjoying it. I think I've come out of this lockdown a better version of myself, happier, and wanted to, you know, take it even further now. So got some good stuff going on. It's not easy. It's bloody hard work. But yeah, I'm a EXP agent in UK. I was number 8. I was like, I'll never forget my number. I know I was number 8, and also it was the 24th of November that I pressed my social media button saying, "Hi everyone, this is what I'm doing." I think I'll always remember those things. So, but you were a top man at the beginning. We didn't know each other, and we messaged each other across the pond. And your help, advice, encouragement, along with Adam, and then meeting Jason Gessing in person as well was great. I've had Zoom calls with a lot of other top guys as well, but nothing like literally meeting someone in person. Do you know what, the Jason Gessing thing just put a little nail in that I was right to be doing it. It was very early stages when we went on that little tour. Yeah. And Adam asked me to say something. I was like, well, don't get me to say something. I've only been doing this like overnight. They said, these guys are coming to see what it's like, and you're actually out there doing it. So I stood up, did it. But I chatted to him, and me and Jason did not talk about business, EXP, houses, a revenue share, anything. We talked about basketball, baseball, American football. And I remember you were there. We were at the same bar, and it was just such a breath of fresh air for a figure of that type in this company, that it was just real. It was just normal. And everyone I've been dealing with has just been. It's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? You know, keeping it real and being real. And it's a very American thing, keeping it real. But honestly, everyone is so real and genuine. And I didn't get that at all in my 14, 15. Of course, there's genuine people in other estate agency worlds, but there's a lot that aren't. And I haven't come across really anyone yet that I thought, do you know what? They're fake, or they're trying to lead me up some sort of path that I shouldn't be going, or they're not genuine. So that's a really good side of it, I think. So.
Yeah, I agree. And, I was going to ask, I think a roller coaster, as cliche as it is, the last 6, almost 7 months is nail on the head. I've been doing this experiment for 2 years. So I've certainly bought a ticket a few times and come around and gone around. But we're both working from the garden today, so life could be a lot worse. But one thing I've seen from you, especially in lockdown, you're the James Corden of Watford, if you will, the singing karaoke and the content you put on social media.
Are you talking about my weight? A
little bit, but I'm right there with you, so don't worry. So how did that come to be? What got you kind of doing that?
Apparently my granny. So I've got Irish family. My granny was from Wicklow in Wicklow County in Ireland, and apparently she had a really good voice. No one else in my family can really sing. And then my music teacher told my mum one day, your son's got a really lovely voice. He's got the voice of an angel. And then never really did anything with it. I was just a typical sort of bedroom shower singer. But then when I was about 17, 18, I just did karaoke, sang at all the school discos. I was that annoying bloke that people say, oh, look, he's on the table singing again. I tell him to shut up. But I just loved it. It was a massive release. And then did a bit of recording stuff. Never really, it didn't take off as a career or anything like that. I did. I won't tell the story about how I went on one of those famous TV programs, but didn't get through. We'll keep that one to ourselves. The judges got it all wrong. Let's just say
Obviously.
Obviously. So yeah, and then just became an estate agent, so just sang randomly when I got drunk. But then lockdown, I had no intention to start singing songs, and I was feeling down at the beginning of it. And I thought, someone said to me, do things that make you happy. And I thought, you know what, I like singing songs. And much as it was weird sort of sneaking off into the bedroom or the bathroom or the kitchen to record a song, I just started doing it. And then it was literally happening every day. And then people in my community on Facebook were saying, oh, that's lovely, you did this, did that, and like it. I thought I should keep doing it. I went on for about 30 days, and then I took a break from it because I needed to concentrate on doing some work as well and getting some listings. And but yeah, you know, it's built some extra people in the community. I had someone ring me up and ask me to value their house because they said, you look like a nice chap and I've enjoyed your singing on Facebook. So if someone says, don't do things like that because it makes you look unprofessional or something like that, then they're completely wrong. It actually helps you grow your own personal brand, basically.
Couldn't agree with you more. And two things that you mentioned, which I would love to pick your brain on. The first one, well, the second one's going to be personal brand and the importance and interest of it for you. But the first one's community. So here in the States, when we do our thing, you know, you're supposed to be the local expert. You know, if you're not the local expert, you're not in your community, you're not doing anything. So talk to me since you've been with EXP, you know, how's that been for you kind of now reinvigorating and getting back into the community and being that local expert, as Purple Bricks claimed?
Just having people ask you questions, which is free advice, and you know that you're not gaining from it is nice. It's just, you know, the person that lives at number 73 down the road message you on Facebook saying, oh, my daughter went to see a property the other day, it's not in your area, so it's no good for you, don't suppose you can help. Yeah, they could get the response from some people saying, yeah, it doesn't, not interest, carry on, but of course I'm going to help. Pop down, have a chat on their driveway, socially distancing, and just talk to them about it and the market. Said I didn't really know the market in that area, but gave them some advice on negotiating and dealing with that agent, because that agent was doing something a little bit naughty and they wanted to know whether it was naughty. I confirmed it was naughty. But some advice. And I know that I might never have another conversation with them again, but I also know that if they come to sell their house or have someone in the area, again, they'll go, that guy was nice, he helped me out. It'll come back to you. It really, really, really will come back to you in life. And things like that have happened. My phone has rung more in the last month from people. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm friends with them. They said you were a nice chap. You helped them back then. Can you help me with my house? You know, I've been on the market, haven't sold it. I didn't know you did this. I was like, yeah, I do. I'll see you. Come and see you Monday. Come and see you Tuesday. That's all been social media community, or within my friends and family community, having those people sort of promote you. They need to be your biggest fans. If they think you're no good at your job and you're a wally, then yeah, they're not going to promote you. But fingers crossed, most of them think I'm all right. So you need a bunch of fans. Basically, that's what I call them. You need a bunch of fans to promote you out there. So yeah, it's word of mouth. It's happening organically, but it's also happening on social media as well. In those 1,000 odd friends you have following your Joe Rylett page, that's not 1,000 sellers in there. There might not be even a few in there, but they will know someone who knows someone. And if it's ever more true about, well, I found out doing this myself, it's about who you know and what you know. This has really brought it home. So all about connections. And I've done networking, which is, if I fast forward 6 months, I could potentially have, from what I've got, about £30,000 into my bank account from turning up some networking on a Thursday morning once a week, which for me is a no-brainer. And make friends, they're not just business network connections. I have friends in there now. They are real people friends that go out over a beer and have a chat with, as well as sort of talk business with.
And if you don't love what you do, I've always said, what's the bloody point, to be honest? But talk to me about networking, because I know that's something that you just brought it up, but something that you've put a big emphasis in, and clearly there's going to be a monetary reward and business at the end of it. So how have you found networking, either going into it, did it accomplish what you wanted, or is it just been kind of mind-blowing for you, the opportunity of building friends and building business from that?
I initially wasn't sure about it. I'd heard a few things about the proper organised networking. People say, it's a bit of a cult, and go in there and chant, and it's all a bit sort of this and that. And first of all, admit it was a little bit slow. You've got to get to know people. You really have to sort of put yourself out there, because you can't. There's 28 people in the group I go to, and for a couple of hours with the meeting and breakfast and that, you can't chat to 28 people on Thursday morning. So you have to do a few this week, a few that week, and then you organise calls with them over the week. So you get to know everyone. And you build up a bit of a nucleus of your go-to people. So there's really about 5 or 6 people in there that really do promote me, and I promote them. Not everyone is constantly thinking about you, which I get, because they've got to get on with their stuff. But really, really grown into it. But the ad hoc networking wouldn't have worked for me. So just turn up to one randomly here that's a free one, or just going to one a few weeks later that someone's invited you to. I had to do something that was organised, paid for by me up front, so I'm committed. I'm not going to go, I'm not turning up this week, I'm ill this week, don't fancy it. You've got to want to go every week and really immerse yourself into it and get into their sort of culture, even if it's slightly uncomfortable to start with. Just standing up and doing your little pitch. But we've had poetry mornings. I won the poetry morning last week. Admittedly, it was a rap, not poetry, but I got away with it.
Congratulations.
And again, it's just putting yourself out there. Now I'm sort of a face in there and connected with new people. Highly recommend it. There's loads of people not doing it, and I get it's not for everyone. Out of the 60, 70 odd people that are now doing this in the UK, I bet you there's only about 15 of them that are actually doing it. I don't know. It's the fear of really getting into something like that. It's the same as fear of doing videos. It's fear of doing this. There's always fear of doing everything, but just dive in and go for it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And in the grand scheme of it, I paid £1,000 from a year. If I'd have done it for the whole year and not got any business out of it, I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. You might think we just wasted £1,000, but well, you know what? I'll still get some connections. I'll still get some friends. Something might come of it in the future. Loads of people get business out of it after they leave. They still get stuff, and they're not doing even the networking anymore. I've already potentially paid myself back that subscription 20 times over within about 4 months. I've got painter decorators recommending me to people with £1 million properties, me going round. Trust is transferable. So they like the painter decorator. He says, Joe's a good guy. unless I do something completely awful on that valuation or that listing appointment, as you guys would call it, it's an instruction. You know, you kind of half nearly got it before you walk through the door. So that's been really good networking.
Well, clearly, because, you know, it's a cliche again, but the other side of getting out of your comfort zone, you really see the growth and success. And one thing that really, everything you've said has come back to one thing, you know, who they're recommending. It's not EXP, it's Joe Rylett. And that comes back to the personal branding by which really all of this culminates. So how have you kind of taken that approach, you know, for 14 plus years, being part of, you know, something else and being a number, you know, with no offense intended, of course, to being now Joe Rylett? You're little more hair, but your face on that sign and your name on the board and all of that, you know, how have you taken to it being you and, you know, you in control of your own success?
I was, I just had to convince myself it was about me. You know, those people that had a good service, because there's a little thing in the back of your head, oh, could you have done it without that brand above your name? Would they have done it with you if you hadn't been with them? That's still one of those fears, one of those, again, you just had to back yourself and go, no, hold on a minute. Those people instructed Joe Rylett when I sat in front of them. It was Joe Rylett that sold that house. It was Joe Rylett that did that viewing, that offer negotiation. Yes, so-and-so were his employer. And back yourself, as long as you back yourself. I'm clearly not, there's not many estate agents that are shrinking violets. Generally, we're pretty confident. But we all have our own little, there are some confidence issues here and there sometimes, you know. We're not 100% sort of behind it. I think my 5-year-old is just about to ruin this call by coming through the window here.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Be quiet, darling. Be quiet, darling. Just for a second. 5. You're not 5 yet. Sorry, I know you're 4. Nearly 5. Can I carry on chatting to Barry? Yeah. Thank you for giving me a letter.
The joy of working from home.
Where was I? Yeah, just backing yourself, being confident. And you know what? You're not quite sure when you say, I'm going to put my head on the board. There's still an element of, is that going to be all right? But you know what? 90% of my head, and I know other people, maybe certain people are not sure about it, not fans of that, which is, it's all about different approaches and opinions. But I thought it's going to be about me. Let's go for it fully. And I know we started this as with a name. I was Joe Rylett Estate Agents, and other people are so-and-so properties or so-and-so homes, but we're shifting towards this name powered by EXP. I've decided to fully go for that. And at first, I was a little bit disappointed because I was going to lose that branding I'd created and that. But actually, very quickly, I thought, no, this is what this is all about. It's supposed to be about me, the person, the personal brand. So I'm going to, if I can take that even more to the extreme, I'm going to do it. I changed all my wording in terms of social media. We're talking about us and we, you know, Joe Rylett Estate Agents. Now it's all me and I, because it is, you know, I'll be coming to see your house, not we, the company will be. EXP are not coming to see your house to value it and put it on the market. Joe Rylett, who is powered by EXP, is coming to your house. And EXP guys won't mind that I keep them subtly sort of in the background. They're a little logo here, but if my owners are not really too bothered about that and what it actually entails, they're dealing with me. So just got to back yourself, yeah. And if someone draws a moustache on my board in a couple of weeks, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm going to say, fantastic, they took notice of my board. They took the time and effort to put a moustache on my board. Let me take a picture and say, look, it's me with a moustache. You know, I'm not bothered.
Good look. No, exactly. And listen, I know you got to get back to the almost 5-year-old, so I got you. But one final thing, honestly, and I just want to open the floor up to you. So from the beginning, number 8, Gaza, if you will, what have you learned most about yourself and about your business in the journey so far? Again, we know this is just the beginning, but just for anyone here who is contemplating the self-employment aspect of things, or just kind of looking at where they are, obviously post, hopefully soon, coronavirus and life just evaluation time. Where has this time brought you to right now?
Take it away, anything to do with the model, the branding, money, listings, numbers, shovel that to one side. What I've learned in a very short space of time, because 6 months in your lifetime is that amount of time, isn't it? Yeah. What I've learned is to completely open myself up to every person, every possibility, every scenario, to listen to everyone a bit more, to make as many friends, connections, be nicer. I was a nice chap, but I'm now an even nicer chap in the last 6 months. And I could be even nicer. You know, we can't be 100% nice to everyone all the time because there's people out there that you just don't want to be nice to. But I've gone to a whole new level with that, and I've educated myself so much more in the last 6 months. A little bit subliminally, and a little bit with the effort. You know, of going to the networking and reading something or doing some training. More in 6 months than I did in the previous 14, 15 years. I was just, I was like closed. I wasn't growing as a person. I think I've just gone to a whole new level in my own personal development in 6 months. And you know, that might not be anything to do with VXP, might not be anything to do with whatever brand you're working with, but it's this self-employed scenario that has helped me to do that and open my eyes to all sorts of things. So, and I'm a happier man.
That's a good thing. That's what it comes.
I don't know if the wife's happier. She doesn't seem as happy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to be as happy as the day when we married them, before we had kids and stuff like that. But
I'm not going on record, but I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, life's pretty short. Business gives you an opportunity. So if you're able to partner up with a company or just take an element of your business and it improves you as a person and family life, isn't that what life's about?
Yeah, I generally think family life as a whole is better and has grown as well. More time with them. Then sometimes you want to throttle them, but the positives far outweigh the negatives in terms of the family time and the balance. Blimey, getting to know my kids a bit more. You know, when I was just slave to the office, coming in at certain times, just making it for bedtime or not even that sometimes. That's been amazing. And you can pick and choose. You can pick and choose what you do. You can be selective about your work. We were chatting about it before. You don't have to go and take on the world and obliterate market share and stuff like that. That's not what this is about. You can pick good quality good quality properties to work with that are right for you, right for them. Sell less than you have to sell in an office. Make more money. Have more time with your kids. No brainer.
I couldn't put it any better myself, Joe. Until we meet in the pub, until we meet next time, I appreciate your time and thank you very much.
No problem. Maybe edit the bit about the wife. I don't think she watches LinkedIn, but there you go. Really does, yeah.